This is Geo Creations. Hello, I'm here to talk about perspective. The earliest creators of art typically drew their objects hierarchically. That is to say, according to their spiritual or thematic importance. This doesn't take into consideration their relative distance from the viewer of the art, and don't even think about foreshortening during this time. This is especially noticeable in Egyptian hieroglyphics. The most important objects are often shown as the highest on the art, leading to this idea of vertical perspective. Vertical perspective can most easily be understood through still lifes, as indicated with these pieces of fruit on the screen. The apple on the top left is placed lower than the pear, therefore the viewer can assume it is closer to them. In the top right panel, the pear is lower on the page, therefore we can assume the pear is closer to the viewer. Now in the bottom left, you'll see that the apple is overlapping the pear, and it is also lower. This gives us an understanding that, of course, the apple is closer to the viewer. However, in the bottom right, things become much more complicated because not only is the pear overlapping, it is higher on the page, creating the illusion that the pear is floating. This would be understood to be incorrect vertical perspective. And any artist who lays out their objects in this way should reconsider their choices, unless they're trying to create magically floating fruit. This primitive way of laying out art was superseded by the excellent work of the Renaissance artists like Raphael and Leonardo. As you can see on the screen, Raphael's School of Athens uses what we call linear perspective to create an illusion of depth. The development of this kind of perspective occurred after the Book of Optics, written by Alhazen, was translated into Italian, therefore picked up by a bunch of Renaissance artists who applied the skills within that book to their fine art. To really understand linear perspective, there are a few terms that you have to know. First, horizon line. This is a line in a perspective drawing where the sky and the ground meet. It also represents the viewer's eye level. And then there is the vanishing point. The vanishing point is the little dot on a horizon line. This is typically where all of the angled lines point to. And lastly, orthogonal line. Literally, it means the light at which right angles to another. In linear perspective drawings, it is a line from the corner of an object to the vanishing point. So all of those angled or diagonal lines, typically that are pointing towards the vanishing point, those are called orthogonal lines. These terms can seem a little complicated, so I'll show you some picture examples to make it simple. On the screen we have Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper. It actually provides a lot of really good examples of exactly what I'm talking about. That horizontal line going through the figure's head, that is actually your horizon line. That's where the sky and the ground are touching one another. The diagonal lines are all pointing towards the middle figure, which, as it turns out, his head happens to be the vanishing point. So all of those diagonal or orthogonal lines are pointing to the primary subject of the painting. Learning how to draw in correct linear perspective is a powerful tool for artists. Many artists, such as M.C. Escher, learn how to use vertical and linear perspective to create mind-bending puzzles of art. By adding linear perspective to your art, you add believability and credibility to yourself as an art technician. Thanks for your time and good luck.